Hello, friends, and welcome to another captivating episode of Assembly Bethesda On-air. I am your host, Hain Fogarty, and today we're diving deep into a truly astonishing event from Scripture, the miracle of water flowing from stone. Can you imagine the scene? In the harsh, unforgiving wilderness, a vast multitude of people and animals, parched and weary, desperately needing water. Then, by God's direct command, Moses strikes a seemingly lifeless rock and outpours fresh, life-sustaining water for everyone. It's a powerful, tangible picture of divine provision, isn't it? When life feels utterly dry and stony, when all conventional sources seem exhausted, this story reminds us that God can, and often does, bring refreshment from the most impossible places. It teaches us a fundamental lesson: reliance on Him rather than our own limited strength. Let's explore how this incredible truth applies to our lives today.
Now, let's truly immerse ourselves in that desert setting. Picture it: endless dry sand, scorching winds, a landscape that screams impossibility. Yet in that very place, streams suddenly flowed. God didn't just meet their need, He met it directly, dramatically, from what looked like an utterly barren source. What's even more profound is how the rock itself points to something far greater. Later Scripture, as we know, connects it to Christ, our spiritual rock. The water didn't just appear, it flowed because of obedience and divine command. And think about the sheer volume needed for so many people and their livestock. It was abundant, not just a trickle. This reveals God's boundless generosity. He doesn't give sparingly, does He? In Gothic tones, envision dramatic skies over ancient stone formations yielding to heavenly will. The sound of rushing water echoing through those canyons, filling hearts with absolute wonder.
This isn't just a historical anecdote, it's a living lesson, folks. This miracle seamlessly weaves into the grand tapestry of redemption, from slavery to freedom, from overwhelming thirst to complete satisfaction. When you reflect casually on this, it shows us to trust Him, step by step. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Act in faith, even when you can't see the full path. What's interesting is the powerful symbolism here. The stone, often representing law or the hardness of our own hearts, and the water, as grace and the life-giving Spirit. The Gothic atmosphere of that wilderness only adds layers of mystery and awe to this account. Imagine massive boulders, silent for ages, suddenly bursting with life-giving streams. It feels like a tale from ancient cathedrals, carved in rock, yet pulsating with divine energy. God always has a plan, often hidden, even in our hardest places.
Moving forward, we see this incredible pattern of provision repeated throughout Scripture. The same God who drew water from a rock later turned water into wine at a wedding and fed multitudes with a few loaves and fish. These consistent patterns are there to build our confidence in His boundless ability. In a truly Gothic sense, imagine fog-wrapped cliffs at twilight, a lone figure approaching the rock, staff raised, and then the dramatic release of crystal waters sparkling under moonlight. Doesn't that imagery stir your soul toward deeper worship? This miracle encourages you and I to speak to our own stones in prayer. Name those hard places in your life: a stalled project, a weary spirit, a challenging relationship, community needs. Invite God to release His flow there. The principle remains powerfully simple. Obedience unlocks abundance. Let's linger for a moment on the location itself, Horeb, a place already marked by God's presence. This rock wasn't random, it was chosen. And what does that tell us? It reminds us that God meets us in very specific spots in our lives, right where we stand, right where we feel stuck. Expanding on this, just consider the sheer engineering of such a miracle. How does water hide inside solid stone until the precise moment? Only divine wisdom knows. It humbles us, building a casual faith that expects the unexpected. We see a profound transformation here. Stone to stream, hardness to refreshment.
Gothic literature often features such shifts from darkness to light, and here it's a vivid reality in Scripture, connecting directly to the New Testament where Paul calls Christ the rock that followed them. He, struck on the cross, provides endless living water.
We spend considerable time here unpacking the implications for your daily life. When you face a wall, remember the rock yielded. When you're thirsty for meaning, drink from the divine source. This water, remember, was for all the people, not just a select few. God's provision is always inclusive, always generous. The Gothic elements throughout this story, the dramatic landscape, the tension before the strike, the incredible release, and the resulting joy, paint a picture that resonates deep within us. So, as we wrap up, let these simple yet profound points echo in your spirit. Trust, obey, receive. Think of cathedrals with carved stone gargoyles channeling rainwater. They mirror this miracle. In your family, work, health, or personal growth, the same God works today. Thank you for joining me today. It's always a pleasure. God bless, and until next time, courage. If you like what I do here, head on over to www.assemblybethesda.com